Good morning, Nerd Criteria. It's Sunday, and this is Devil's Kettle.
So when I first heard about the Secret Sibling 2.0 project, I knew I wanted to show you guys something interesting and unique from where I'm from. Considering temperatures in the Twin Cities, where I live, we're going to be in the 90s, or 32 to 37 degrees Celsius for you non-Americans. It gave me an excuse to travel north to Devil's Kettle, which for the longest time was one of the most mysterious natural formations in Minnesota. Devil's Kettle is a waterfall in northern Minnesota that is part of the Brule River. It is about a 20-minute drive north from Grand Marais, one of the northernmost cities along the north shore of Lake Superior. The waterfall is located within Judge C.R. Magny State Park. To get to the falls, you have to hike about 1 mile, or 1.6 kilometers, which is a portion of the 310-mile, or 499-kilometer Superior Hiking Trail. After wiping any potential seeds or spores from non-native plants off our shoes, we set off for the falls. Just a heads up, the trail itself is rugged and involves about 175 stairs in order to get to the Devil's Kettle itself, so if you decide to make a trip, make sure to bring good shoes. All along the hike, you can hear the Brule River running nearby, and as you keep getting closer, the sound from the falls gets louder and louder. When you get to the falls itself, you'll see signs for the lower falls and the upper falls. Both are amazing to see, but the mystery and namesake for Devil's Kettle can only be seen from the upper falls. So what is this mystery? Well, as you can see, as the Brule River goes into the falls, it splits into two streams. One that you can watch as it goes down the rock formations and falls into the river below, while the other falls into a pothole and appears to disappear completely. For years, people would throw things into the river and try to determine where the water went, but nothing would ever resurface. People assumed that there must be an underground channel that led off and fed into Lake Superior, separate from the rest of the Brule. What makes this even more mysterious is the geology of the area. While an underground river and cave area would be a likely explanation if this were southern Minnesota and the rocks in the area were made of limestone or another sedimentary rock, this is not the case for the North Shore of Minnesota. The rocks around Devil's Kettle are made up of rhyolite, which is a type of igneous rock. And although the area's rock formations did come from ancient volcanic activity, the conditions were not right for there to be lava tube formations. So for the longest time, tourists and scientists alike were stumped. That is until 2017, when the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources published the results of an experiment that they did. They took measurements of the water flow before the falls, and then again several hundred feet after the falls. What they found was that the measurements were nearly identical, meaning that the half of the river that was plunging into the Devil's Kettle met up with its other half shortly after the falls themselves. But why then didn't people see the items they had dropped into the river resurface? Well, the Brule River has a very strong current, and the scientists concluded that because of these currents, the plunge pool formed at the bottom of Devil's Kettle would be strong enough to pulverize whatever had been dropped down there. For a while, there were some talks about potentially performing a dye experiment to confirm the conclusion that the water did reconnect with the rest of the river, and to also figure out where exactly it reconnected, but it was eventually decided that the experiment was not scientifically necessary to uphold the conclusion that the water was draining the river down below the falls. Thanks for taking the time to learn about this really cool Minnesota destination, and hopefully you guys enjoyed learning about Devil's Kettle. And I'll be seeing, I'm going to butcher your name and I'm really sorry, Chushi Gloria with the rest of you tomorrow. DFTBA.